This is the JFJ Conspiracy, where the shop talk is rock.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Frank.
And I'm Jerry.
And this is the JFJ Conspiracy Podcast, where the shop talk is rock.
Mm-hmm. And where the third time is a charm.
Third time is a charm.
Indeed.
And this is a special Record Store Day edition of the podcast. And April 13th, this Saturday.
This Saturday, folks.
If you out and about and you drive by a record store and you see a line of people, you'll know why.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little about it, Jim.
Okay, so I think we discussed this last time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did.
Record Store Day, chance for everybody to get into the stores, drive some business in there. They do it. Record Store Day is in April, and then they have Record Store Day Black Friday, which is, I guess, not Record Store Day, but it is Record Store Day.
It's Record Store Day Junior.
Record Store Day Junior, I guess. I think they should just release cool stuff all the time.
All year round.
All year round.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Why not drive all that business all year? I don't know.
But you know,
anyway, but great stuff comes out on Record Store Day, and I've found great stuff on the list.
It does. The list goes on and on. I think there's 6 or 7, 8 pages this year of a lot of good albums. But you have to be into vinyl. It's not compact disc day. It's not digital download day. It's Record Store Day. And I understand why some bands only put out limited numbers on some albums. And then some others put out 5,000, 7,500, even 10,000 copies. And I think they end up sitting in the stores because a lot of people don't know that they're out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't want to go stand in line.
Well, that's my beef.
Yeah,
Digital world,
that's
folks.
too.
Digital world. How long do I have to wait?
Yeah. And I'm not putting down anybody who's into albums because I am. I still love vinyl and everything. But it's a different clientele who's out there shopping for albums.
Yeah,
and
they have more options.
You stand out there and you meet some cool people, have some cool stories going on, and you kind of listen to what other people are running in there, what they're hoping the record store has, and you hope it's nothing that you want because you know they're in front of you.
Right.
So
You have to be very discreet.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
Well,
no,
yeah.
I don't like
what you disclose.
I would go in with
that's
a dummy
Beatles
list.
album. I don't like the Beatles.
Yeah.
No, I'm not here for that. No.
Yeah. I like McCartney's first band. Yeah, Wings. Yeah, that's the one I like. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jerry, did you get a chance to peruse the list there and pick anything that you're interested in?
I tell you what, I didn't peruse the Record Store Day list. I do have their current featured titles, but speaking of vinyl, I'm going to go to the vinyl aspect of that, Frank. What I've been thinking about lately is the Kiss solo album's re-release, 40-year anniversary, year or two now, on vinyl. I haven't done it yet. That's been on my mind heavy.
You talking about the colored vinyl?
Yes, yes. And I know I'm not going to take them out of the plastic, folks. I'm not going to play them. Maybe one day when I have a conniption or something, I'll probably bust it all out. But that's what's been on my mind lately is the 4 solo albums 40th anniversary.
Can I throw something at you just for a second?
Indeed.
And this is specifically towards the Kiss albums that I know you're collecting.
Mm.
And I just noticed this on a Kiss fan site the other day, like the Kissology box set and these solo albums. If you have bought that for yourself, whether you're going to play the albums or not, I suggest you open them up. And I'll tell you why. A lot of people are saying that the cellophane is wrapped so tight on the outside of those albums that they're curving.
I've heard that.
The corners.
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And not that it's going to diminish the value, because if you're not planning on selling it, but if it's for you, you don't want to start bragging. Hey, look at this album I have. I have Sonic Boom, and it's a jacked up, jacket.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm thinking.
I wonder if that could affect the LP inside.
Because back when we were kids, guys, we opened them up before we got home.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would slide my fingernail down the side of the album on the way home just so I could see the lyrics and all the good
smell
stuff.
It.
Yep.
Oh, that vinyl.
I tell my mom, don't drive so fast. I got to read this still, and she'd drive on home. Then I go home, throw on the record, and be lost for what appears now to be 30 minutes, what I used to think was hours.
Yeah, I thought it was hours too. What some album we did a couple of weeks ago was 48 minutes. I go, man, I could have sworn that thing was 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Oh.
And every once in a while, that album cover would get right underneath your thumbnail.
Oh yeah, get you that
and
paper cut.
It was like
cut
like
a million.
Paper cut.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, how does that happen? But every once in a while, and that was a miserable experience.
Yes, it was. Well, I'll
just
tell you
part of the experience.
It is.
Yeah.
You don't get that with Apple Music, I guess. So.
No, that's my venue, folks. Like like I said out in Conspiracy Land, that's my venue. Is Apple. Right. They got me.
What do you think, Jim? Digital or analog? What do you prefer?
Well, I still buy vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy everything.
Yeah,
on
I'm
vinyl,
select.
But yeah, I'm select too. Somebody, while we're on the subject, I'm looking at you, Burger Records. Stop releasing stuff exclusively on cassette.
Cassette?
How do you even listen to that?
That's for collector purpose. Yeah.
Well, and the worst part of it is you don't get a digital download with it. You just buy the cassette. Right?
Well, if they give you the digital download, that would make it okay.
Yeah, there's no download with it.
Yeah.
You just buy the cassette, and the cassettes are dirt cheap, and that's part of why they do it. But it's not like you can go pop it in your car even anymore, right?
No.
My God.
And of all the formats, the only thing cassettes really ever had going for them was they were small and portable.
They were small.
Yeah. The eighth of an inch or whatever, quarter-inch tape was garbage. You never had good sound quality on a cassette.
You never had great sound quality on a cassette. They sounded
Remember
terrible.
the Magnavox metal tape or whatever that was, or THS or whatever the big deal was? Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I've got out in the garage, I've got 2 big boxes of cassettes because, that was my venue, when I was driving, is you had cassettes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And now, every once in a while, because I have a boom box out there, I'll throw one in, and the reels squeak so bad you can't hear the music.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember that? You rewind it, it squeaks, the squeak goes through the speakers. Yeah. Unbelievable. And I
got into whenever I'd go buy the album, I'd just buy a cassette at the same time, take it home and record it, and then I'd have one for the car and I'd listen to the vinyl at home. But stop with the cassettes already. Anyway, so back to your question, which I didn't answer. And a friend of mine made a comment just recently. He said, "We live really in the best of times because you don't have to have a record. You got music on your phone wherever.
Right.
The sheer convenience of music
and the storage.
And his argument was we live in the best time of all.
Hundreds of albums you can
carry. He's not nostalgic about vinyl or anything else, and he owns tons of vinyl, but he's just like, we live in a great time. Stop crying over analog versus digital, blah blah blah.
Well, to say you can have your whole collection on a thumbnail drive is unbelievable.
It's unreal.
This is space age stuff when we were kids. There's no way. And I remember I worked with a guy in the mid 80s before CDs took off, but he, Popular Science magazine was talking about digital music, and they said one day you'll be able to carry every album you have in your pocket. And he showed me this article, and I said, it'll never happen in our lifetime. There's no way.
Right here.
Yeah, and we're walking around with a computer in our pocket now, believe it or not.
Yeah, essentially.
It's a computer.
So, still love vinyl, but I love that I can just shout it, Google to play whatever.
Yeah. There's a personal experience with listening to a record. We talked about this last time. Yeah. You hold the record in your hand, you hold the jacket, you see the art, you read.
You read the songs, read who wrote it.
Yeah.
Read the yeah.
And like I told you last episode with Judas Priest, you find out, okay, this solo break is KK's, this solo is Glenn Tipton's, that kind of stuff. I enjoyed that. And like I was showing you before we started recording Combat Rock, I can't read even the CD notes. I couldn't read if I wanted to. I need a magnifying glass.
Yeah. Too small.
Yeah, so. Well, I looked at the list, and there's a lot of stuff on there that I don't even, don't have any interest in. And there were a handful that I really do like this, but would I buy it? And so I narrowed down a list of 4 or 5 albums that, I think I might try to snag 1 or 2 of these. And the first one, I'm sure it'll surprise you guys, but it's Bob Dylan's Blood on the Tracks.
Oh.
And it's his original recordings of that album. And I didn't know this, but the record company, when we turned the tapes in, the record company said, no, we're going to get you a band, and they're going to play these songs, and we're going to polish this up a little bit. Yeah. So this album is
I can see that.
Oh, yeah. Well, Bob was kind of rough around the edges. So
a little rough.
This would be pretty much him and his acoustic guitar and all his whininess, all his glory.
Frank. Talk to me, Frank. I love you, Frank. I know you're a fan.
You know what? And you think about Bob Dylan, is he a great singer? No. But is he a great writer?
Yeah.
There wouldn't be how many artists when you think about who he inspired. It's countless.
When you can write your own songs, it doesn't matter how bad or good your voice is. When you write your own stuff and it's original, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll give you another example. Neil Young.
Thank you, Jim.
I know.
I was thinking Neil Young.
Not a fan of the guy's voice, but great songwriter.
Yep.
Yeah. His lyrics are very, very intelligent lyrics.
That's funny, Jim.
I can't get past the high pitch of his voice, but I love the lyrics.
Yeah.
And he sings in a key that hasn't been, discovered
well,
yet.
Only dogs can hear it.
Pretty much. Yeah. But his lyrics are deep. I enjoy that. But that Bob Dylan album, there's going to be 7,500 copies, so I should be able to get that.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you didn't you get one of 300 copies? What was the vinyl we were talking about?
Oh yeah, the Brutalist. I got that.
Brutalist, right? Well, no, you'll be on it, Frank. Yeah, they can release 5 copies. You'll get one. We already know that.
Hey. The other album was the soundtrack to Howard Stern's movie Private Parts, which came out.
Really?
Yeah. And you think about the music that's on there: AC/DC, Ted Nugent, Rob Zombie. Tons of 70s and 80s bands because he was the disc jockey during that time and played that music.
Revisit that.
I have it on CD, and I listen to it from time to time, but I was listening to his show the other day. He didn't even know it was coming out. He doesn't like vinyl, and he had no clue that the album was coming out, but there's going to be 1,500 copies.
Wow.
And I guess his producer, Gary Delabate, is all over it. He loves vinyl, so they were kind of clowning him about that, but I'll try to get that.
Stern doesn't like vinyl.
Howard hates vinyl. He doesn't see the point in it whatsoever.
He makes me like him even less.
Yeah.
You know what, Jim? Now that I hear that, yeah.
My other 2 albums are Saxon. It's an album called Thunderbolt, which is their singles. There's 300 copies of that. I don't know if I'll be able to snag one of those or not. 300. And that tells you they're just putting it out there just because it's Record Store Day. They're not investing a whole lot of money. And the last one is a 5,000 copy distribution of Rush's Hemispheres.
Oh.
And I didn't see if it's colored vinyl or anything like that, but it's a special Record Store Day exclusive. So.
Well, so's this, Frank, if I may cut in. Aha has the Hunting High and Low, the early alternate mixes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love Record Store Day.
Yeah.
You know what? Throw them all a bone. Hey, Aha. The early mixes.
Yeah.
Take on me. Get out of here.
What about
Sorry,
you,
guys.
Jim? What are you looking at?
Well, let's see. I thought I was like down to like 5 releases. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them here.
Wow. Let's hear it.
And I'll pick one at the end that I think would probably be the one I would probably buy. So Ramones 2 LP set live at the Palladium in New York.
Right.
It was like from a New Year's Eve concert. 8,500 worldwide double LP, first time being released. So kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Dream Syndicate, Days of Wine and Roses. Now this is a 500 copy release. It's limited run, sort of regional focus. They're a LA band. Yeah. One of the original Paisley Underground bands. Anyway, this was their debut record. I guess you could say iconic, whatever. Yeah. Great album. First time it's been re-released, so it's re-released, remastered. Right. Massive liner notes. They kind of went all out on it. Cherie Currie solo album. Yeah, Cherie Currie. Yeah. And the thing I found really interesting about this is it's released on Blackheart Records.
Really? Joan's helping her out, huh?
Yeah, and their relationship seems to kind of
hot and cold,
up and down.
Kind of comes and goes.
Kind of comes and goes, up and down. One minute it seems like they can't stand each other, and then they love each other. So I thought, well, that's cool that whatever hatchet they had sounds like it's been buried. And
after so many decades, you'd think,
you'd hope so.
I'm still holding out. So. Still holding out for that Runaways reunion show.
Well, Jim,
probably not going to happen.
Well, let's not doubt it, because it would be great. It'd be great. It would be if they got together and rehearsed it and did a one-off, it would sell like crazy.
Yeah.
No, there's been talk several times, and it always ends up getting submarined. And
they could open for the Spice Girls, do a little world tour.
Yeah. I remember the Spice Girls, and it was '96, I think. Yeah. My daughter was like 9. Yeah.
Hey, on a serious note, Jim, let me ask you.
Sure.
I read Lita Ford's book, and most of it I think is garbage. But
why did they all do that? They write a book, and it's like, there's no way this happened.
Yeah. Well, she said, one of the reasons why she left the band was she finally realized she was the only one that wasn't gay in the band.
No.
Well, not to change direction, Jim, but how do you feel about that?
How do I feel about what?
What? I don't know. Frank just threw that out. I'm like,
I'm not asking for his opinion on that as far as
I know,
the
but
girls.
It was just such a.
But do you think that's even true?
Well, she claimed she was the only one that wasn't bisexual or whatever, but I think the ship. How long were they together? I don't think anybody
5 minutes
cared. Yeah. I mean, it's I think that had precious little to do with the band.
Do the music. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah,
I think it was 5 very intense personalities is what caused that group to break up. So,
anyways, go ahead.
Happy stuff.
Anyway, I'm holding out hope. Whatever. Motorhead.
Mm-hmm.
Covering the Ramones' Rockaway Beach on a 7-inch colored vinyl with a live version of their song Ramones.
Now that sounds
on the backside. Yeah. And the cover looks really cool. It's a drawing of them on the beach playing, about to get wiped out by a huge wave.
That's funny.
Johnny Thunders.
Yep.
Que Sera Sera Resurrected. So remix of that album. Supposedly reconstructed the way it should have sounded originally. Now this is first day release. So after Record Store Day, you can go onto the website from the record company and go buy it for $40.
Right.
Colored vinyl, looks like a really nice package. And last but not least, Generation X.
Hey.
Your Generation 7-inch on red vinyl. It's I don't remember what the B-side was, but it was
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, rough. It was the rough mixes that they basically the producer had handed to the band. And there's a little. If you go on the website, you can listen to a little clip of that. But it sounds great.
Well, that's when Billy Idol truly was a punk.
Yeah, that would be the one. Probably that and the Dream Syndicate would be the two I would really.
Well, I noticed Elton John. They have a Live from Russia album.
I remember that.
But that's probably newer music too. I like his older stuff, and when he got into the Nikita and all those, I kind of
thank you, Frank. I was thinking Nikita.
I kind of lost interest in Elton John.
Well done.
when he got into the later stuff. But
I'll make a I don't know, confession here. I like, I guess that's why they call it the blues.
Yeah,
I love that song, and I'm Still Standing.
I like I'm Still Standing.
I love them both. Well done, Jim. Yeah.
I'm lukewarm on I'm Still Standing,
Yeah.
and the
Oh,
key
it's
also,
popish.
but yeah, it's popish. But
what was the other band I saw that? Oh gosh, Peter Frampton's first band,
Humble Pie.
Humble Pie.
Oh no, oh.
They've got an album out on Record Store Day. Also, I noticed, and it looks like it's demos and live stuff. So,
guys, I cannot take demos. I'm sorry. It's
now,
just,
you've said that before.
Yeah.
I know. I fell in love with the song. It could be 5 years ago. It could be 20 years ago. I fell in love with the song. I played it. I loved it. I don't want to hear you with an acoustic in the closet when you first created the song. I don't. I want to hear the end product.
You know,
I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to hear the creative process. I want to hear what I heard and what I liked.
Don't apologize.
And that demo version,
okay.
or where they do the redo.
Mm-hmm. I know you don't like remixes.
No, we're gonna do this. We're gonna redo our vocals 30 years later because I sing better.
Well, you know, I listen to Sirius Radio on the Beatles channel. They play alternative cuts all day long. And here I am thinking, here's Dear Prudence, and I'm singing along, and then John changes the lyrics on me, and I'm like, I don't remember that cut, you know.
I just heard Breakfast with the Beatles. They had an alternate version of Helter Skelter, and I'm trying to sing it like I know it, and air jam my guitar like I know it, and it's.
See, I think you have to be just like
can't take it.
I think you have to be like a complete Beatles.
Yeah. There was a time where I enjoyed that because they'd put out I bought the anthology CDs and all that, and it had that. But I have a confession to make. What was there, 3, 4 of those? I never listened to one all the way through because
there's a reason they scrapped it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they came up with a better lyric, or the bridge changed because
better riff.
It's better.
Not to change the subject, but the other day Cindy and I are coming home from somewhere, and U2 is playing Helter Skelter live, and it was the most obnoxious thing I ever heard in my life. Where you have just the Edge playing guitar, and you know his guitar's not real distorted or anything, and then you had Bono who was just singing his own melody to Helter Skelter. And I'm driving, and Cindy and I look at each other and like, what just happened?
Pull over, Frank.
Yeah. I don't know what show, what concert. I don't know if they only did it one time or whatever, but they need to turn in their music cards. They're done.
You know what's?
I have yet to hear a version of that song that stands up to the original.
No, that's one that should have been remade.
100%, Jim. 100%. Yep.
I agree.
But what's sad, guys, is what I'm going to do, Frank, when we're done. I'm going to look up U2.
Oh, please do. Please do, and text me.
I will. Yeah. I'm a glutton for punishment. I gotta hear it.
But you gotta listen to it all the way through because it just gets worse and worse and worse, and you think it can't get any worse, and it gets worse.
Not interested.
No, just the thought of it. It's like Tiny Tim sings Led Zeppelin. I gotta hear it.
It was bad. So bad. All right, guys. So Record Store Day, April 13th, this Saturday. That's why we're doing this special episode. We're going to put this up. I'll get it put up tonight, which is Wednesday night. So you guys have a couple days to get out there, do some shopping. I want our listeners to tell us, what'd you go out and buy? Do you even bother with vinyl? Want to know your thoughts on Record Store Day. And also, we're going to have another T-shirt coming out here real quick. I think the true listeners, all 100 of them or whatever it is, I think they'll really enjoy this new shirt coming out because it's a very important piece of iconic piece of our history.
And it looks neat.
It really does. I know we'll sell at least 4.
Well, I'm buying a couple. Yeah. So that's one.
I think that was the 4 he was talking about.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, you buy 2.
I buy a couple and you each buy one. Yeah.
Yep.
That's 4.
But I'll be posting that on our Facebook page a little bit later. And so keep an eye out for that.
Folks. Thank you.
All right. Well, if we don't have anything else, we'll cut this one short, and we'll be back on early next week for our regular episode. We're going to be reviewing The Clash, Combat Rock. And what a doozy of an album that is. Whew. And we'll give it our rave reviews.
That's it.
It's
or
been
tear it apart.
I have to be honest, it's been real slim pickings on new music.
That's okay. It never stopped us before, guys, has it?
Yeah. I think the band that I'm going to be presenting is a little different than what we normally listen to. But
good.
Yeah. It's certainly, and I want to make a mention right now. All week long, if you guys follow us on Facebook, you see that we post a song of the day. Each of us post a pick of the day. And today is Wednesday, third day in a row. Jim has not picked a band with a female singer. Is that on purpose?
He's doing it on purpose, Frank. No, he's trying to lull us into a false sense of security, and then he's gonna, when we do the show.
Well, I know the band he's gonna present next week. It's not going to have a female singer. He's already told us that.
I already said that.
Yeah,
I'm really excited about this band too. They are.
I love it.
3 tough cookies, man.
All right.
Yeah,
that's good. Well, we'll leave it at that then. And if there's nothing else, guess what?
The shop's closed.
The shop is closed. Good night,
Keep rocking, folks. Good night.
All right.
Combat Rock. Yeah, let me hit that and see what happens. Yeah.
5, 4, 3.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Frank.
And I'm Jerry.
And this is the JFJ Conspiracy Podcast, and this is a special Record Store Day edition. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Forgot our tagline, brother.
Great. Where the shop talk is rock, folks.
4, 3.
I tried to cover, We're amigos.
5, 4, 3, 2.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Frank.
And I'm Jerry.
And this is the JFJ. All right.
With a straight face, brother. Come on.
Yeah. Hold on.
It's that headstone that got him, Jim.
Yeah,
I know. Blew his mind.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
5, 4, 3.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Frank.
And I'm Jerry.
And this is the JFJ Conspiracy Podcast, where the shop talk is rock.